Good day, good days. So today we're going to talk about, is it worth your time? Is buying Magic the Gathering product with the intention to resell it, and with singles with the intention to open it, whether it's a booster box or a commander deck, you're going to open it up, throw the trash away, ripping a bunch of packs or opening up these commander decks, sorting out the singles, getting them packed in your inventory, sorted ideally by set, or if you don't have too many cards, you could sort by color or something like that. But ideally, you're sorting by set and alphabetically. And then after they're sorted, of course, things get listed and then they sell. And so the time that it takes to pack the card, you take the card, put it in a top loader, you put it in a penny sleeve, then you put it in a top loader, then you put that top loader in a team bag, seal that all up, and then attach that to the packing slip, fold it up, put it in an envelope, seal the envelope, put on a stamp, and then your address, you're ready to go. Then you got to take it to the post office, or if you're lucky, you've got a mailbox in front of your house or down the street or something like that, so that you don't have to drive all the way somewhere. And then, is that worth it? All of that time, all the energy, the materials, the supplies, is it worth it? And is it worth it comes into kind of two dimensions, which is like financially, is it worth it? And then second off, time-wise, is it worth it? And the time-wise, is it worth it, I think is really interesting, because the money, is it worth it? The answer is yes. And I'll dive into that in a second. But the time-wise, is it worth it is interesting. It's a personal question, though, because it comes down to you and how do you use your time. And so we'll dive into that. Oh, hello, my cat's here. The money, is it worth it? The answer is it can be, because you got to be careful. It's not the reality that you can just buy and open up any Magic the Gathering product, sell the singles, and make money. I know there's a show called Financial Audit done by Caleb Hammer, where he interviews people who have made poor financial decisions usually, and talks to them about how they can fix their finances. And it's an entertainment show, but a couple episodes feature trading card players, collectors, investors. And one of them I know features a couple or a guy who bought thousands of dollars worth of Yu-Gi-Oh boxes with the intention to open them up and sell the singles. But the problem is, and I don't know the exact numbers, but the problem is that those Yu-Gi-Oh boxes you could buy for $80, but the singles inside on average were worth $60. And so this person was basically just putting in a ton of effort just to lose money straight up. Now, Magic has lots of products where you can net positive and make money. But there are products where you will not make money. And so you can technically put in a ton of time and effort with Magic, with selling, and just lose money. So you got to be careful. There's estimated value calculators out there. Anon's Discord has one. There's like a kind of Patreon type program you can sign up for with Anon's YouTube channel. There's Mox Alpha, which is more expensive, but a lot of big channels, big people use it. There is toploaded.io, which my friend Chris made, which, all these cost some kind of money, but they get you the information on what should I buy, what can I open and sell and make money. And so lots of cool platforms out there. But anyway, so yes, is it worth it financially? Yes. This past year, I've sold around $100,000 of cards. The majority of that was buying sealed commander deck sets from kind of like a Patreon program, Discord, subscription program done by a game store owner, where I pay them $20 a month and I get access to their catalog of stuff from distribution. I buy commander deck sets that have positive EV, get them, break them down, sell the collector sample packs. Rest in peace, collector sample packs. The newest commander deck sets do not have collector sample packs, which is really a big hit for us dirty resellers. But anyways, and then sell the singles and net positive. And that's been great money. I sold over $100,000 worth of cards in 2025. The majority of that was commander deck sets that I broke down. So is it worth the money? I would say so. The question is it worth the time? And like I said, It's a personal question. I can't exactly answer it for you, but I can talk to you about the way to think about it, or a smart way to think about it, which I think the right way to think about this is in terms of opportunity cost. What are you giving up, hypothetically or in reality, by selling cards? What is the next best use of your time? And so real quick, I guess that explains opportunity cost just fine. The idea here is that if you're selling cards, what else would you be doing? And so it's kind of an honest conversation with yourself of what else would you be doing? Because the wonderful thing about selling cards as a side hustle is that it's flexible. You can unpack, like perhaps you need to be at your desk, so it's not like it's hard to do if you're on the go all the time. Like if you're riding a train, it's not like you're going to bring all of your envelopes and shipping supplies on the train to like pack. So it's not perfectly flexible. But if you're home enough and you've got your desk or your whatever workstation you have, then you just need time at that desk. And that can be in the mornings, it can be in the evenings, it can be whenever. It's perfectly time flexible to just sit down, open up some products, sort cards, list or order them alphabetically by set, listing them on TCG Player. Like all these things can be done in you can spend 5 minutes doing it, you can spend an hour doing it, you can do it in the mornings, in the evenings, you can do it whenever. So from that perspective, the side hustle is very flexible. You don't have to put on a uniform and go into a place. You just need some time at your workstation. And so the question is, what are you giving up by having this kind of flexible side hustle? And what I would wager, and what I know for me, is that honestly what you're giving up are kind of just the time sucks in your life that just fill up time and that aren't necessarily very productive, or even like, I don't know, there's activities that quote unquote aren't productive, but they are like very fulfilling. But I have found in my life that the activities I've given up are not very productive, and they're also not very fulfilling. So for example, I think for me, one of the biggest things I've given up, and not like on purpose, I wasn't like, I'm going to start selling cards, so I'm going to give this up. It just worked out that way, are video games. I was playing, and I do still enjoy to play, like Elden Ring Night Rain, or Risk of Rain 2, or these roguelike games that I find a lot of, happiness in these games. But when I have, 30 orders a day that I need to pack up and ship, and cards coming in that I need to open and list, it's like, instead of playing this video game, I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to listen to YouTube. And so I end up listening to YouTube, and a lot of the YouTube I listen to is informational anyway. And it's been a good deal. It's been a good trade. It's like I'm giving up these things that weren't great ways for me to spend my time. They're fine, but just like not not productive, I guess. I don't know, because the thing is that playing video games is great, and scrolling on TikTok is great, and Netflix is great. Like, I'm not going to say that like, oh, all these things are just bad and you shouldn't spend your time on it. But for me, trading those things for selling cards and listening to YouTube videos or whatever has been a big win. It's made me money. It's been fun. It's opened up other opportunities as I've built my business and built my brand. It's been super worth it. So that's kind of the question for you, is like, in your life, what are the things you would have to give up to list cards and do cards? And there's a lot of important things in your life. There's time with your family, there's commitments, there's your work, there's taking care of wherever you live. There's extracurriculars and activities and keeping up with friends. If I felt like my trading card side business was interfering with some of these kind of key, critical, non-negotiable things in my life, I wouldn't hesitate to stop, right? But the cool thing is that, like, for example, I put my daughter to bed, and my wife enjoys having some downtime And so it gives me this like pocket of time in the evenings, basically every evening, because I help put my daughter to bed, where it's like I can do whatever I want. And I could be scrolling on TikTok, and that would be fun, but instead I'm choosing to list cards, pack cards, sell cards. And then of course I do YouTube videos too. You can also do YouTube videos too. You know, there's so much opportunity for how you use your time and what you invest your life into. So anyways, something to think about. Is just like, what are you giving up by selling cards? And the reality is you might be giving up something that you don't really care about anyway. Like, I don't really miss TikTok. I'm not like, oh wow, I wish I had more time to scroll TikTok. Like, I haven't thought that once. It's just, it got crowded out. There was better ways for me to use my time, and then here we are. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and let me know your thoughts below. What would you give up to sell trading cards? And yeah, like I said, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.